Hello everyone, this is Shining Noctiles, and tonight I figured I'd actually have a really, wanted to share a very personal discussion with you guys, and I think the last few weeks, in particular, have been very helpful for me in illuminating what I've needed to kind of learn about myself and about others, and to illuminate the darkness. And I believe listening to metal and learning how to play the electric guitar as well as meeting others and being more open again has kind of helped me rekindle my flame within and start to understand why certain things of the past transpired in the ways they did. I'm starting to recognize that the experiences I had with past relationships and the reasons why um, they acted in certain ways, whether it was um, I recognize that a lot of people, or some people, will will find ways at times to make money that to another person would be wrong, such as, for example, a lady having a man buy things for her or shower money over her. And to me, that feels wrong because there's no real genuine love in there, because it seems like the man or lady or another lady might be doing it more for selfish reasons. But I recognize the reason why she would act in that way is because it's a survival mechanism for her, and maybe it's the only way she has felt that she could live. And but maybe that's not how she really wants to live. And I'm starting to recognize that in my past relationships, maybe the reason why some of the women I encountered did not want to ask for money or services in the same way they would with other men, or even with potentially other women, was because they felt it was different, that they just couldn't do it, that I somehow illuminated or touched them in a way that just caused them to look at things differently. And maybe that's why a lot of them retreated from me, because they felt really guilty about what they did. And maybe they just didn't didn't realize how much of an impact it would have on them. I guess maybe a lot of other guys and some women may have not really have tested them that much, or just didn't really have any values or standards, I guess. Maybe um, they may have just been so focused with what they wanted that they never really were able to generally or deeply connect with the other person. And I know there's a lot of people out there who prefer to live in a fantasy and a dream, and again, I myself have been prone to, in the past, to fall in that kind of false narrative. But I've learned that as I've picked myself up, back up, and as I've gotten stronger and believe in myself more, that there was a reason of why I went through those things, of why I had to go through it. And it was hard, it was painful, it really wasn't easy to see that. It really wasn't, but I felt that it was necessary for me to see the shadows of others and even of myself so that I could gain a better perspective of the world around me as well as within me. And it can be a blessing and a curse, as well as seeing the past and the present, as well as being in relationships where you may have had a previous connection before, whether it be a present connection previously being a former wife or a former sister, and learning how to forgive them, learning how to forgive them even if they messed up and even if they were fools, if only because, to be honest, I sometimes can be foolish myself when it comes to love and caring for others deeply, but I've recognized that people make mistakes, and it's learning how to let those people grow and just like let them eventually, like letting them eventually crawl out of their own ashes, I feel is important. And it's not easy, especially for someone who usually wishes to protect and save others. But I feel it's important to let people pick themselves back up and to allow other people help me. And I've actually have been fortunate enough the last couple days to share myself a little bit more openly with some other people, and I'm glad that I've been able to find others that I feel comfortable sharing with, and that I feel also give and not just take. And it's really been a challenge, really. But I think that I've recognized that not everyone around me is as pure in their intentions when having relations or connections with others, but I've recognized that the reason they do it is again mainly for survival reasons, and also it could also be them not really knowing who they actually are. And some people may put their identity based on the attention they garner from others, or from the amount of money they have on their bank account. But the thing is, when our physical body eventually passes away and returns to the earth, we won't be able to take that money with us. We will, like, again, I see money as a way to put a roof over my head and, to do things that bring a bit of comfort, but I recognize my value is so much more than just what I own or what I have. It's within myself, within who I am, and I believe that's what the Morrigan and the Raven have tried to teach me as the flame within me, the flame of Kanunos inspiration just kind of rekindles and it's it can be a little bit hard, especially seeing my fellow brothers. And again, it's not just the women, even my fellow brothers, I feel like they too are having to find the strength to just stand up with their spine straight, and it's it can be hard for them as well. And I've had a previous connection. I won't say his full name, but there was a previous connection named Lilium that I could see a lot of the things he was trying to tell me now. How he how he could how he could see in and out of a lot of other people, and why he tended to be distrustful, and the pain that he felt as others betrayed him, but also the pain he felt when he, or even when he himself felt like he wasn't being the best person that he believed he could be. And doing things that he thought could have been different if he felt like he was a bit stronger within himself. And I guess maybe that's more of a Scorpio thing, because I also had a female connection that was Scorpio just like him, and I could see some similarities there where they did certain things, but they wished if they were stronger, they could have done things better. And I think that learning to illuminate the shadows and embrace the dark and learn to understand it, I think is truly important, because a lot of people really don't know who they are, or they think they might know who they are, but they don't really know. And I guess that's the one thing the Morrigan has tried to help me understand in the Raven, about learning to really understand the persona that I am, as well as the shadow, masculine and feminine. And in understanding myself better, I feel like I've been able to understand others better too, and it's it's something that I feel is important to share, if only because I could just keep these thoughts in my head all day, and I could share it in a poem or write a musical piece or play a musical piece about it. But I think it's really important to share, to bring a voice, to bring just a discussional, just air to it. Because I think a lot of people, they may be thinking the same thoughts, but maybe just a lot of people just don't feel brave enough to actually voice it. And, you know, it's, if you're able to walk through the shadows yet still have the strength to still look at the stars of the raven night sky and to have the strength to still keep the fire strong. I believe the journey, even with all the joy and all the pain, is worth it. It may not be an easy road, and there may be trials and tribulations along the way, but there's also joy as well if only you can see it. Really, there is. And there was a person, her name was Jess. She once told me, Jim, death is a kindness, and love is unconditional and free by nature. And what I take from those words now to mean is learning to let go of the resentment and bitterness of the past. Like certain trees do in autumn when they let go of dead leaves. I think it brings healing. It really does. And some of those leaves were grown because a lesson had to be learned. And it's not always an easy lesson. But if you are able to come out stronger from that and to be more whole and balanced and just are able to see life in a more colorful and vibrant way, then I feel like it's all worth it. Like being able to experience the death, but also be willing to give life a second chance as you rekindle the flame. That is a kindness too. And it's something that it really does require a tremendous amount of strength. It really does. But I feel it's worth it. I really do. Being able to have gone through that underworld, that death, the pain, but also the peace, the relief, the rest, the easing of the pain. As I understood myself better and just had a deeper understanding of things, I think that is what helped me to continue. And I think that it's really important to not give in, even if it's really hard. And it's just to continue, even if you feel like the blade has gone through you, just to be able to just overcome it and to be able to just rise from the ashes a stronger, better person. I think it's all worth it. Really, I do. And it may sound a bit like a novel or like a musical dream piece, so to say, but I think that if you can just be open, if you can just be able to cross that line of death and to see something greater than that, I think that's something that at least the Raven or the Morgan would smile at. And I think that that a lot of people will really struggle if they choose to go down this path, but I guess for me, if I can at least share my experiences with other people of the path I've walked, then maybe that will ease their hearts a little bit. It's something that it takes time, really it does. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but I felt it was worth it, and it has been worth it. Really, it has. And I think that there's actually a metal piece out there that's one of my favorite pieces, and I always get a bit of a smile when I listen to it. It's a guitar metal cover of Air's theme, composed by a YouTube channel called House of Rock, and just the melody, the way the music pierces through my very soul as I hear the joy and the sadness, yet being able to push through it all and find a sense of peace and joy with a blessing and a curse balanced together. I believe it's something that is really true. I really do believe that. Anyways, I just wanted to share this. I felt like it was a good thing to share, and I'm glad I did it. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good rest of the evening. Bye.